Hello friends, my name is Kat. Welcome to my channel, Boss Babe DIY. Today's episode is extremely exciting because it is the first project I get to tackle in our brand new house. For those of you who are new here, my husband and I bought a 1930s stone cottage back in February, and we've been getting major renovations done on it so that we can move in this winter. This is the first project I actually get to go in and do myself, and the first room I'll be tackling is the guest bathroom. So I wanted to put a really fun Art Deco twist on this. We're doing the whole house kind of in an Art Deco theme, but this one in particular I think I wanted to be the jumping off point for us. So I'm going to be doing some fun stuff with the walls and with the ceiling. This is going to be a two-part video, so without further ado, let's jump right on into the project. Hello friends! Today is a very exciting day because today I get to do my very first project in the house. I am thrilled. Clearly the house is still under construction, but I just couldn't wait any longer. So today I am going to be tackling this room right here. This is our guest bathroom, and I wanted to do something super fun and super Art Deco in here. Since the house is from the 30s, we're really leaning into the Art Deco style. So let me show you kind of what I'm thinking for this room. I'm taking most of my design inspiration for the bathroom from this tiny little wine bar in Nashville called The Authentic. You can see it's got these stunning ceiling tiles, rich damask wallpaper. It's super moody and dark with a lot of deco gold accents. I love the vibe it sets, and so I wanted to bring that element into our guest bathroom. So I set up this mood board, and I am going to be doing a similar look with some tin look ceiling tiles. I also wanted to bring in some rich bold print wallpaper, so I found something really cool there. And if you've been around this channel for any amount of time, you know that I love a gold accent, so there's a lot of gold that's going to be going on in here as well. And in case you're worried that all sounds like it's going to be way too dark for this teeny tiny bathroom, know that we did get these white beveled subway tiles installed all the way around the tub, which first of all gives it this really cool textured kind of vintagey look, but also pulls in all of that natural light coming into the window. So I think it's going to be a really nice balance of light and dark. As you can see, we are very much still in the middle of construction even on this bathroom. The guys that we had do our tile had actually just finished laying the tile that day, which is why there's still blue tape all over the place. But that also means that the walls were entirely raw, completely new drywall, so I had to get a really specific primer to make sure everything was sealed in really well before I painted over it. You guys don't need to see me prime a whole bathroom, but know that this is the primer I used. It's KILZ PVA, and it's for professional interior drywall, and it's a primer and sealer. So the bathroom is now primed. As you can see, the sun has gone down, but sometimes that's how it goes. So here's some late night DIY. Next I need to choose which paint color I want to go on the wall. I want this to match my wallpaper, which I will show you soon. But I got two colors here from Home Depot, so I'm going to test them out and then we'll decide which one we want to go with. Here's something I always recommend. If you are not sure exactly what color you want to paint a room, go ahead and get a sample of it. You can get these samples from the Home Depot paint counter for around $5 and paint a swatch on your wall. If you can, look at it during the night and the day, just see how the light plays off of it. It's going to give you a better idea of what the color's actually going to look like on your wall, instead of those paint chips, which can sometimes be a little bit off depending on the light. In this case, I decided to go with the left sample, which is black evergreen. It matched my wallpaper a little bit better, but gosh, the color on the right is also really gorgeous, and I have a feeling I might be using it in a future DIY. All right, here's a pro tip for you guys. If you have to paint a room in an empty, cold house, get one of your best friends to come help you. This is Britt. Hi. She volunteered to come help me paint, so we're gonna knock this out tonight.
The paint we used for this room is Behr Marquee in eggshell, and I have never had an easier time painting a room. Any of you who have tried to paint this dark of a color on a wall knows that it takes so many more coats than you think it's going to. I'm not kidding when I say we almost stopped after 2 coats because it already looked so good. We did do a 3rd coat just to make absolutely sure, but it went on so well. I'm going to be using this a lot more often. If you're curious about any of the products I'm using in the video, I have links for everything down in my description box.
So we finished up all the paint last night and let it sit, and I wanted to see it in the daylight, and it's just, I mean, it's so gorgeous. It went on super well, and it's very smooth. There are no spots. So the next thing I'm going to do is I got a few pieces of trim, and I'm going to do a little bit of a board and batten look in here just to give some dimension to this wall.
I started by measuring out exactly how high I wanted my top rail to be, and then the length that I needed to cut it to. Then I marked a level line all the way across my wall and found where all of my studs were for me to nail into. I did run into a tiny problem here. I didn't have long enough brad nails. My brad nails were only 1.25 inches, and as you can see, the board just fell right off the wall. So I had to make another quick trip to Home Depot to pick up 2-inch brad nails, but those went into the studs just fine. Once I did get my board attached, I filled all of the little nail holes with wood filler, waited for that to dry, and then sanded it down before I painted it the same color as my wall. Now, I did just say that I was going to do a board and batten look here, but I realized that we don't have baseboards in this bathroom yet, so it would kind of be counterproductive for me to attach these to the wall now, not knowing exactly how tall these baseboards would be, because I would hate for me to be just short. So I'm gonna hold off on these for right now.
Now you may be wondering why I left this open space up here on the wall, and that is because I'm going to be wallpapering this. So I really just wanted to fill in the edges in case the wallpaper didn't quite make it all the way to the corner. But I have been excited and nervous about this part because this is true paper wallpaper that I have to use an adhesive with, and I've only ever done peel and stick before, so we'll see how this goes. But she's very pretty. The print's a little big, but you can see it up on the wall.
The company I ordered this wallpaper from sent along this tiny little installation kit that included a utility knife and a straight edge. I'll be using this wallpaper specific adhesive that I found at Home Depot to attach my wallpaper. I'm starting here by finding the plumb center line in the middle of my wall. Everything I researched suggested not starting the wallpaper on the edge of my wall because odds are it's a 90-year-old house, it's not going to be exactly square, but this way I know that I'll line up exactly with my plumb line so that my other piece of wallpaper will line up perfectly and nothing will be askew. I'm using a 3/8" nap roller to roll on my adhesive. I want to get it really thick so it doesn't dry too quickly and allows me to work with the wallpaper if I need to move it around at all. Once I applied my adhesive, all I had to do was line up my first piece with that center line that I drew. As you can see, I'm struggling with the wallpaper a little bit, so I did cut off some of the excess at the bottom. I also had to go back and apply more adhesive to the wall in order to get my wallpaper to properly stick. So if you're trying this at home, I would suggest going a little bit thicker on the adhesive than you think you need to. It just gives you a little bit more wiggle room before it dries. I did eventually get a handle on this wallpaper. I got it lined up with my center line and I used my little straight edge to smooth away any bubbles as I attached it to the wall. I also smushed it into all of my corners and used a paint shield up against the corners so I could get a nice clean cut with my utility knife. If you don't use a straight edge of some kind in that corner, the wallpaper might have the tendency to tear, so just keep that in mind. I applied my second piece of wallpaper similarly to the first, but I made sure to match up my pattern exactly with that first piece. I'm not even halfway done with this makeover and this wallpaper has already transformed the room. It's going to be such a good statement piece for when we have people over.
So now that I've got that gorgeous wallpaper up, it's time to move on to the main event, which is the ceiling. I found these beautiful tin look ceiling tiles at Home Depot. This is actually PVC, so it's super flexible, and I can just attach these to the ceiling with some construction adhesive. I decided to go with this because I thought this would really elevate the room and really pull it together to give it that Art Deco hotel kind of look. So I've never done this before, so let's go try it out.
This part of the project brings me to the sponsor of today's video, Home Depot and Gorilla Ladders. Okay, let's be real. There are not a lot of opportunities in which I need a ladder, but when I'm doing a project that's really unique like this on the ceiling, it's just a little bit out of my reach, so that's where my Gorilla Ladder comes in really handy. Gorilla Ladders is a brand that is totally exclusive to the Home Depot, and they sent me their 15-foot twin-step fiberglass ladder for me to try out. And I've got to say, I love it. What I really love about this ladder is it's basically two ladders in one. So I can use it as it is now in an A-frame, and it's 7.5 feet. So it's perfect for a project like this where I'm working on the ceiling, or I can easily unfold it and it becomes a 15-foot ladder, and I can use it to do
outdoor projects like cleaning the gutters or putting up Christmas lights since we're coming on the holiday season. One of the coolest features about the ladder is that it has this little bucket that you can attach to the top. So when I'm working up here on the ceiling, I have all of my tools right here with me. I don't have to go shoving them into pockets and dropping them all over the place. So that's honestly probably my favorite feature about this ladder. Another great feature about this ladder is that it's fiberglass. So I know that I'll be safe when it comes time for me to install my light fixtures. It's super strong, it's really sturdy. I feel totally safe using it by myself. It's easy to use. It's great for professionals and DIYers like myself. Plus, it's got a lifetime warranty. Overall, I would highly recommend this ladder, especially if you're just getting started and need a really affordable but versatile option. If you're wanting to purchase one, I've got a link listed in the description box below. Now let's get going on these ceilings.
Similar to my process for the wallpaper, I started by finding the center of the ceiling in the room. Again, I'm not sure exactly how square my walls are, so I wanted to make sure that I got my first few tiles exactly right, otherwise the whole room would be off. To attach these ceiling tiles to the ceiling, I used this construction adhesive that's specifically made for tub surrounds. Since these ceilings were going to be in a room with a shower, I wanted to make sure everything was watertight. I placed about a dime-sized dollop every few inches all over each tile, and then I went right back around the edge with a line to ensure maximum adhesion. I installed my first piece by lining it up with that center mark that I had made on the ceiling. I was actually pretty surprised by how well the tiles immediately stuck to the ceiling, but it also allowed me enough wiggle room to make those minor adjustments if I needed to. These tiles are made in such a way that one side overlaps the edge of the last tile, so it makes it look like there are no transitions whatsoever. I wiped away any adhesive squeeze out with a wet rag as I went.
Well, here's something to be careful of. I started cutting my small pieces to go around all of the edges in here. And I had the tile turned 1/4. So when I went to install it, it didn't fit quite right. So hopefully I can salvage some of it, but be extra careful when you are cutting out pieces to make sure it's turned the correct way.
So when it comes to getting around any potential obstacles in the ceiling, like a fan or a light, it's actually pretty easy to get around. What I did for my ceiling fan is I measured out exactly where it was going to sit in my tile. I marked it out on the back of my tile with a permanent marker, and then I was able to cut through the tile with my utility knife. You can also use heavy-duty shears. I used the same basic principle for my pieces that went up against my wall. These were a little bit tricky because I wanted to make sure that there weren't any glaring gaps, so I sometimes had to make minute adjustments after my first cuts. Here's one tip I will give though. You can see I painted a little bit up onto the ceiling, so that way if I didn't get my cut exactly right, you're not seeing the white underneath. It looks like it's still just part of the wall. Then I just repeated this process several more times.
Okay, I still have to fill in a few edge pieces, but I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the view from up here. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I just put in my last piece of ceiling tile and it looks so good. I did have to get a little creative with the last few pieces. As you can see, I used up every bit of scrap that I had, but I got it all done and it looks so great. So this is where I'm gonna have to unfortunately stop for now on this makeover because I still have to wait for the tiles to be grouted, plumbing to go in, we've got to get some baseboards in, but I will show you guys where we are now and stay tuned for part 2 of this bathroom makeover. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. Part 2 is going to be coming out pretty soon, so make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss the final reveal on this guest bathroom. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments. Would you also decide to do a bold wallpaper and ceiling like I did? I'd love to know. Until then, I will see you guys next time.